Hi, my name is Tommy Kelly. Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. Today is the Rare Eating Disorders series, and today I've actually got a special request one from Lonely Luck here, and she's asked about, he or she, sorry I don't exactly know how, but I hope I've spelt your name right, sorry. Obsessive Compulsive Eating Disorder. So I've written a lot of things down here, and please bear with me, and if you see me looking down obviously at my notepad, that's the reason why. Right, the signs of compulsive overeating disorder: binge eating or eating uncontrollably even when physically not hungry, which is a lot of what everybody can relate to with binge eating. Eating much more rapidly than normal. Feelings of guilt due to overeating, which we all do. We get, even with anorexics, we get that feeling of guilt when we eat anything. Awareness that eating patterns are abnormal, which we can all relate to as well. Withdrawal from activities because of embarrassment about weight. And that's one thing I would like to say, even anorexics, we withdraw away from activities, but it's basically because we want to avoid situations where we're going to have to eat food. So in a way it's similar, but obviously a different type of fear. Eating little in public but maintaining a high body weight. Well, we can all relate to eating little in public. Sometimes we avoid it at all. Holding the belief that life will be better if they can lose weight. We definitely know that. Your eating disorder voice always tells you that. It wants to push you to a certain desired weight, and when you get there, you think you're going to be happy, and you never are. That's one thing I want to convey, and it just keeps pushing you and pushing you and pushing you. Vague or secret eating patterns. Yeah, that's another we can relate to. Obviously, self-destructive statements about food consumption. We all know that. Holding your belief that food is your only friend. Well, eating disorder people can kind of think of that though it's our friend, it's also our enemy. It's the thing that gets us better, but it's also the thing we fear the most. It's totally different from somebody that's suffering from drugs or alcohol. All they need to do is avoid that certain thing to stay away from it. With us, we've got to face that enemy day in, day out, because you can't avoid having food. It's life. Loss of sexual desire, promiscuous relations, and obviously fatigue. Obviously, unlike bulimia nervosa, persons with compulsive overeating disorder do not purge at excess calories following a binge episode. So that's what I would like to say to you. It's not a binge and purge, it's just that they really overconsume the calories. Compulsive overeating produces emotional, psychological side effects that can dramatically compromise your quality of life and hope for the future. We all know that. That's eating disorders, bulimia, anything, they're all the same. That's one thing I'd like to convey. All these eating disorders that are very, very fatal, and they all carry the same risks. Obviously, when a compulsive overeater consumes an excessive amount of calories and food, it can produce a feeling of euphoria, because obviously that's your drug. It's like a heroin thing. It's the same with us with eating disorders. When we starve ourselves, it sends endorphins to our brain, and we feel ultra high, and it's a strange thing to convey, but that's how it actually works in eating disorders. Obviously, they feel a temporary release from psychological stress and a diversion from feelings of sadness, shame, loneliness, anger or fear. So basically it's an escape, which is the same with eating disorders. It's not about the food or the body type, it's about escaping away from struggles in daily life. So this is exactly the same, whether it be something in your past that's traumatised you, a loss of a family member, stress in your life. It's basically an escape out of making you think you're in control of something. This is in line with other theories of addiction that attribute to a primary problem in reward centres of the brain, so we all know that. The neurotransmitter, which is the serotonin to your brain, which sends those kind of happy feelings and things. This could be another sign of neurobiological factors contributing to the addictive process. We all know that. Overeating may result in higher levels of depression and anxiety due to decreased levels of serotonin. So there you go. Left untreated, it can obviously lead to serious medical conditions, including obviously high cholesterol because of like the high fat foods and things like that. Diabetes, obviously, to the excess weight and things like that, with the overeating. Heart disease, obviously, same related. Hypertension, which is high blood pressure and things. Obviously, sleep apnea, which is a thing that a lot of overweight people really struggle with. Problems breathing and things like that, and they've got to wear masks and things, and it's a really serious thing. Obviously, major depression, kidney disease, arthritis, obviously bone density issues, and obviously even stroke because of all the excess weight and things like that, and stress on the organs and things. So what is compulsive eating? Compulsive overeating disorder will tend to be people that's overweight and is usually aware that their eating habits are abnormal. Obviously, seeking emotional comfort in food exposes them to tendency to stereotype the overweight individual. Words like just go on a diet can be emotionally devastating to a person obviously suffer from overeating. That's one thing that we all know. Just eating, things like that, that's the worst thing you can say to somebody with an eating disorder. And so typically this is the very same thing to them. Just go on a diet. It's the worst thing you can say to somebody that's going through an eating disorder. Obviously, a person who is compulsive overeating will sometimes hide behind their physical appearance, which is something that we all do. We tend to, if we're very underweight, we wear baggy clothes and things like that, and this is just the same with them. So it's a very similar type of thing. Obviously, shame for being overweight, and generally have a low self-esteem, and they use their food as an eating effort to cope with these feelings. That's one thing we can relate to as well, which basically only perpetuates the cycle because you're just going round and round and round, and you're staying in that eating disorder pattern. Even when you really want to stop eating compulsively, they cannot arrest the disease without the help. It's basically the same with somebody that's getting through any treatment. The inability to stop using all in the face of potentially life-threatening consequences is obviously a hallmark of this eating disorder. And what basically I think you should say if you're concerned with somebody with an eating disorder like this, particularly compulsive overeating, as you well know, as I've said, is very, very serious eating disorder, particularly if it is accompanied by occurring, obviously, disorders. Like anorexia, bulimia and other eating disorders, compulsive overeating is a medical disease that can cause irreversible health complications, including death, which we all know. I've suffered with heart problems, liver problems, kidney problems, so this is very the same. You can learn more about compulsive overeating treatment from, obviously, people at your treatment centre and things. So look into this, guys. Speak to your GPs and things about that, and like I say, if you feel that anybody's worried about this, speak to them and get some help, because it's a really, it's quite a fatal illness. So I hope you have liked this, and thank you very much for Lonely Lurky here asking me for this one, and I'll be doing this weekly, so any more requests or anything that I can raise awareness of and to help the eating disorder community and help all you guys is very much welcome. And remember, binge on life, purge negativity and starve guilty feelings, and love yous all and speak to yous all soon. And remember, guys, binge on life, purge negativity and starve guilty feelings. Speak to yous all soon and love yous so much.